to the episode 7 of Digital First by French Cluster. French Cluster is a pool of French-speaking experts based in the United States. They have extensive knowledge of the American markets and want to offer a unique alternative to help their community succeed. Members are chosen from different professions and are selected based on their solid experience and proficient skills. Each of them represents an expertise and is a dedicated contact for other professionals in the same field. At French Cluster, we share common goals, self-progress, and to help others in their progression. We aim for leadership while we focus on excellence. We also place great emphasis on values such as brotherhood and integrity. Today, we'll speak about lead generation and which methods and best practice we can use in digital to generate those leads. Do not hesitate to ask your questions in the chat. We will take a few minutes at the end to answer to some of them. But first, let's present our speaker, Amel Derragui. Bonjour, Amel.
Bonjour tout le monde. Hi.
So Amel is a business and marketing coach, speaker, founder, and podcast host at Tandem Nomads. After a career in advertising, she quit her job to join her husband abroad and launched her first business providing marketing consulting to major corporate companies while living on the move. 6 years later, as she saw a critical need to support other expat spouses in finding their own source of fulfillment and financial independence, she decided to launch Tandem Nomads to help them learn how to grow a successful portable business. Tandem Nomads community has since also expanded to all global citizens looking for the flexibility and opportunities that a local independent business provides. Amel speaks for various international companies and organizations such as the IMF, World Bank, and Ministries of Foreign Affairs to provide guidance on how to use entrepreneurship as a solution to dual career challenges. Her work is featured in various media, such as Forbes magazine. Amel, welcome and thank you for being part of this webinar.
It is such a pleasure, Bérangère. And it's amazing. While you were talking, I was just saying it's amazing. We have met actually 15 years ago, and my first ever experience in advertising was with you, Bérangère. So it's been nearly 15 years now. So it's lovely to be here with you, and that we have managed to keep in touch since and build this great relationship together.
Sure, I agree. So I'll let you the floor. And we will come back to the question and answers at the end of your speech.
Okay. All right, great. So should I get started?
Sure.
All right, fantastic. So hello, everybody. I can see here Jean-Baptiste, Stanley, Stefan, and Thomas. Thank you so much for being here. And hello to everybody who's watching this recorded. I'm really excited to talk to you about lead generation today. And my specialty is really on portable businesses that are location independent. But what we will talk about is going to be effective for any type of business, like knowing how to attract the right people and turn them into customers is definitely something that every single person in business should in fact get to look into. So I'm pretty sure that you've all heard about the term marketing and sales funnel. There's so many books and resources online. The model of the sales funnel, the marketing funnel, has not changed a lot. It's since decades the same one. Now it's just about having a different approach to it to make it work for your specific business. But I'm just going to give you a big picture here of what a marketing and sales funnel is, and then we'll go into details into it of how you can apply it. So I wonder, let me know I don't know if we have a chat here. Do we have a chat or just a Q&A? Yes, we have a chat.
We have a chat also.
Wonderful. So all of you who are here, don't hesitate to let me know if you're familiar with marketing funnel or not. I would be very interested to know if you've ever seen or heard of a marketing funnel before. Just let me know in the chat. So the principle of a marketing funnel is to, first of all, build a audience and then turn that audience into leads and then those leads into clients. So as I said, there's different versions of describing a funnel, but basically the essence of it is here. So the first step to be able to create this funnel is to have, to know where to get visibility and attract those people. And that's what will define your marketing strategy. Then in order to capture that attention and keep that relationship, you need to have a content strategy. Once you build that content strategy, you also have to integrate in it a list building strategy. And here I want to insist on this one because this is something that we tend to forget. Social media has taken over such a big portion of our attention, especially when it's about digital marketing. And I think we should never forget that the only thing that we can control is our direct relationship with our audience and our customers by really having their email, because you can build a whole marketing strategy on social media. But if Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn decide to change the rules, then all the work you've done is gone. So it's very important to have a strategy to capture people's emails in an authentic way, by the way. We'll talk about that. And also GDPR. I won't have the time to talk about that, but that's important to consider. For those who are in California, I think you also have a new regulations to make sure for data privacy to respect those as well. And then finally, once you have that, you want to have a clear conversion and sales strategy. So in a nutshell, this is what you need to have in order to create lead generations. And I'm going to give you examples of my business of how I do it, and then share with you how you can get to build your own. So in my case, and when I created Tandem Nomads, the business that I run right now, this is my second business. So I decided, okay, what are going to be the key marketing strategies that are going to help me attract my audience? So by doing my market research and doing some of the elements I'll share with you, my key marketing strategies are speaking engagement, PR, social media, and networking. So these are the four main ways where I attract my audience. And once I attract them, I make sure to have a solid content strategy that's really valuable. So I have and consistent. We'll talk a lot about consistency. That's the key to generating leads, by the way. So in my case, my content strategy is to have a weekly podcast show that's called Tandem Nomads and a weekly newsletter. Here, it's all about showing the value of what you have to bring and the value of the kind of services you can provide. But most importantly here, it's about serving before selling. And that's really a big portion that we will also talk. And in terms of list building, you will see it today, by the way, in action. You can see how I'm in the speaking engagement right now, and I will show you how the content strategy can lead then to list building strategy. So most of my episodes, I give key marketing and business tips in my episodes, and in most of them, I always give either a workbook or a mini tutorial or something for free that people download in exchange of their email, so that I can keep that relationship, attract those listeners, keep track of them, build that relationship with them, and serve them by giving them valuable content. And then I also have a conversion strategy. So here, one of the key conversion strategy I have is to automatically follow up with questions to start a conversation. So I used to do it manually, and as I grew, I started automating the process. Whoever, for example, downloads a workbook, I automatically send them the workbook, but also follow up with a key question. For example, what is your biggest challenge right now in your business? Let me know, and I'll be happy to share with you any resources I have. So this is how you can automate even the relationship building aspect of your funnel. And I also offer 30-minute consulting sessions for those who want to know if this is the right thing for them to work with me. And so I give them a little taster of it. And then the other conversion and sales strategy I have 2 big launches per year. And those are more like, I have online courses on top of my consulting services. So those courses, I launch them twice a year. And for that, I use webinars as a way to promote them. So I offer free webinars, and at the end of the webinar, I give the option to buy the full course. So here is in a nutshell what a marketing funnel can look like. The question you might ask me is, how can you create your own marketing funnel to generate sales leads? So here, I just forgot real quick, there's two tools that I really recommend to be able to generate your funnel. I use, for example, ConvertKit, which is an email marketing system, and HubSpot, which is a customer relationship management. So this is all about making sure that you're tracking your relationships and having a system in place to make this consistent. So I want to share with you now how to build your own marketing funnel. And a lot of people will immediately look at, like I said, the tools and maybe focus on the tools and things like that. But it's really important to take a step back and think about the big picture before you start looking at your marketing strategy. And having worked for many years with corporate companies and small entrepreneurs, startups, I realized that there's three key C's that actually define a business that works versus a business that doesn't work. And when something is not working, usually it means one of these three C's. There's something missing in one of these three C's. The first one is clarity. You need to be very clear about the foundations of your business to have an effective sales and marketing funnel. The second is consistency. A lot of people have very different marketing strategies, advertising here, Facebook ads, networking, speaking engagement, PR. The key here is that you know your audience really well, that's clarity, so that you can define a consistent marketing strategy that you use consistently, and not too many, just a couple of them that you stick to on a consistent base. And third is conversion. You need to have a very strong conversion strategy. So these are the three C's that you want to develop in your business so that you have an effective sales marketing strategy. So I'm going to give you some key tips here with the first one, clarity. So in terms of clarity, any business needs to have these three key pillars to be able to be successful. The first one is to be very clear about what do you have to offer. And here you also need to be very clear about what problem do you solve and how. If you can't explain this clearly, then something is missing in your business. Your clients, your audience, your prospects need to understand in the first second what problem you solve. That's really important. The second is who needs it. So here is the thing. A lot of companies and businesses, especially when they start, they try to attract everybody. And I love this quote that says, if you try to reach out to everybody, you will reach out nobody. So if you want to have an effective leads generation strategy, you need to have a very specific niche that you target. Start with a niche, and you will see that when you nail that niche, your audience will grow naturally and steadily, and your customer base as well. For example, I started Tandem Nomads explicitly focused on expat spouses and helping them build their businesses. And as I grow, although my marketing is still consistently focused on them, my clients today are a much bigger audience here. So it's very important to be effective with your marketing, and it's cheaper when you focus on a niche. And finally, you need to know who's ready to pay for it. And that requires very good understanding of your business model, how to make a compelling offer, but you also need to have a great market research to figure that out. Among this niche, who are those people who are ready to pay for it, so that you can create a marketing funnel that's effective and then converts. So the area here is your zone of genius, and this is what you need to be very clear about. And now I'm going to give you these 4 questions. If there's anything I want you to remember, is these 4 questions to build your marketing funnel. The first one is, who is your ideal customer? You need to have that super clear. And as I said, focus on a niche. The second question is, where is your ideal customer? This question is very important because this is what will make you decide what marketing strategy is the best for you. For example, if your market research shows you that most of your customers consume content on LinkedIn, then maybe LinkedIn is your strategy, and maybe your marketing strategy is LinkedIn ads. So think about that. Take the time to do market research and figure out where is your customer consuming content or spending time in researching what they need to know about the type of products and problem that they want to solve with your type of product or service. Third question is, how do you turn them into customers? So once you know where they are, you need to figure out, okay, once I attract them, what do I do to convert them? And fourth, this is the key question that a lot of people forget. Lead generation is about attracting new leads. But in terms of business, the cheapest way to grow your business is to have returning customers. So don't forget that marketing does not stop when you sell. Marketing actually, for me, starts when you get the client. So ask yourself, how do you keep your clients loyal and make them refer you to others? Even as a big startup or big company, this is a big part of the strategy that it is really important to consider, but even more when you're a small business owner. The second pillar, the consistency. So here there's this, what you need to do to be consistent is basically to make people consistently know you, like you, and trust you. This is the key for your lead generation to work. And for that, I'm just going to give you a very quick insight here of a method that I call the Varos method. It's a method that I wanted to create to help people demystify what the marketing funnel is about, especially for you who might be lawyers or consultants. It's a lot about being authentic. It's a lot about relationship building. So I don't want you to see marketing funnel as something based on automation and list building and capturing emails. Although that's really important, you need to understand the philosophy behind it for it to work. So the first thing is, first of all, to understand your ICA, which is your ideal customer avatar, and build your strategy around it. The first part is, how do you attract visibility? Then how do you capture attention? Here, it's all about making them know you. And once you capture attention, how do you nurture that relationship? And here it's all about making them like you. And then once you have nurtured that relationship, you can make the offer and focus on serving. And here is all about building trust. And finally, once you have that client, make sure to serve them so that they refer you and provide you continuous visibility. So here an example: if you're a lawyer, your key strategy to get visibility is networking and speaking. And to capture attention, when you talk to them, you get their contact. That's very important, and then you send them a valuable resource based on a problem they mentioned they had. You serve first. Serving first is always the thing. Don't think about selling first. Give value, then build relationship, then sell. So once you have built that relationship, you want it to follow up and stay in touch, but also listen to people's needs. Don't try to sell without listening. Understand at which point of the conversation you are welcome to bring your offer. Once you know what they need, then simply make the offer. And you need to listen to know exactly when it's needed. So here is a tool. So this is really part of the philosophy you want to keep in mind to build an effective lead generation and strategy for your business. But I highly recommend you, especially for those who have consulting businesses and or even bigger businesses. But if you're independent or freelance, I really recommend you to use HubSpot to keep track of those relationships. So basically the funnel I mentioned to you before is captured here into that Varos method that I talk about: visibility, attention, relationship, offer, and serve. So think about those key 4 words when you build your strategy. And then you think about conversion. And in this conversion, there's so much we could talk about. So because of the limited time we have, I just want you to be strategic and think about it at the big picture in terms of numbers. What is it that you need to achieve? What are the goals you need to achieve? So here, I would like to invite you to plan your revenue and your lead generation by asking yourself these 4 questions. And it's pretty simple, actually. How much revenue do you need in order to be sustainable, right? You want to have that goal. And once you have that goal, example, $100,000, then ask yourself, how many clients does that represent, right? For example, here it could be 200 clients. So you need to know what's the average cost of your product and then divide it so that you know how many leads should that be. And actually not how many leads, how many converted leads, which is clients. And then the third question is, what is your average conversion rate? So here you might not know it at the beginning. So the more you are strategically building your funnel, the better you can measure your conversion rate. But I would say if you're just starting out, put, for example, 2 to 3%. So imagine like your conversion rate is 2 to 3% and you want to reach 200 clients. So for that, Actually, here, I gave the example of 5%. So for that, it means that you have to have 4,000 leads. And this is all you need to focus on. Forget about the money, forget about the clients, only focus on getting 4,000 leads in order to generate that $100,000. So that's how in terms of mindset as well, you want to change your mindset. When you see a person, it's not anymore about the money, it's about serving, but first attracting that number of people. And once you have done that, then once you have done this math, then the question is, what strategy will you implement to generate those leads? And it goes back to what I was explaining before in a few minutes. Obviously, there's a lot more to say about that, but I hope this was helpful for you to have a big picture. But basically here, it's about implementing that 3C system that I shared with you before. So again, a real clarity, consistency, conversion. Remember those keywords. Whenever you have a business or a strategic issue to solve, ask yourself, where do I need clarity? What should I be more consistent on? And how can I convert? Those are the three things. And finally, as well, building your marketing funnel, such as I suggested it before. So there's so much more to say. And if you want to learn more about the 3Cs and how to build your marketing strategy, your content strategy, your list building strategy, and your conversion strategy, then I have this workbook for you that you can download on tandemnomads.com/3C. And it has all these exercises for you to start working on your marketing and a sales funnel. So I'm going to put it on the chat right here, tandemnomads.com/3C. So I hope I did not overtake my time. I had to go really quick. 20 minutes is so short to be able to cover this important topic.
No, that was perfect, Amel. Thank you very much. And I guess we can go to the questions. Maybe we can have some. We have a first question, and it's about where should I start if I want to generate leads, but I don't have any website? Like, you are clear what you do, but then you have no digital tools. So how do you do that? How do you start?
I believe that a website is not necessary to build a successful business. You can actually grow without a website, especially nowadays because there are some great tools. So the place to start, I would say, use an email marketing system. For example, my favorite is ConvertKit. There's so many others out there, Constant Contact, Aweber, MailChimp, although I really don't like MailChimp. I would not recommend it. But for me, it's ConvertKit, and go to these tools and they have actually what they call a landing page. So you can create a landing page. It's a one-pager where you have an image, a description of the problem you solve, who is this for, and then immediately offer something for free in exchange of the email. That's it, one landing page, and you're done.
Okay, thank you. We have another one coming from, thank you for the presentation and insights. I have a question regarding the way Americans and French differs when they get a quote for a service. French tend to negotiate and have services for free. How can you convince French people to pay for services? I think it's cultural, but it would be nice to have your insights on this. Thank you.
Oh, this is a big topic. Okay, I would love to have a glass of wine and cheese with you now to discuss this. I know exactly what you're talking about. Is it Stanley who said that?
I don't know. It's
okay.
anonymous.
Thank you for your notes, Stanley. Yeah, so, okay. I do believe that it's important to be aware about cultural differences. And I believe that it's very important to have boundaries between what's free and what's paid. And actually, I can give you something very practical because I am the type of person who I want to always over-deliver. That's my personality. I want to over-deliver. And there is a way to deliver without giving away things that are supposed to be paid for. So the way I would do it is I always give the what for free. The what is for free. For example, what do you need to do to create a lead generation? I just showed you, I could spend 45 minutes to go in details into the what, but always give the what do I have to do for free, and then how I do it is the paid. So when people want to ask you for something for free, you said, here is a workbook that can show you how you can do it on your own. But if you want support, this is my price. So this is how I can do it. For example, this workbook, if you follow the steps of this workbook that I'm giving you right now and you really implement it on your own, honestly, it will get you results. I actually have hundreds of people who email me through the podcast because they actually managed to launch and grow their business just listening to the podcast. And I'm saying to myself, I'd rather have, if they manage to do that just by listening to the what they have to do, then it's fine. I don't want to work, then it's great. It's great result for me. It's great marketing for me. It's great word of mouth. But then for those who need more support on how to implement these, then they have to pay. And yeah, so that's basically the difference. I think in terms of culture aspects, starting with that will help, even if it's not in the cultural context. But I think it is important to set boundaries at some point. And if people are not ready to pay for it, they're not your ideal clients. As simple as that. And actually, it goes back to the
Thank
free.
you, Amel. We may have a last one. Sorry, we may have a last one if you don't mind.
Sure.
Would you recommend building a business around a passion or around a business opportunity that may provide a higher potential revenue?
Okay, can you repeat that again, please, once more?
Yeah. So would you recommend building a business around a passion, or around a business opportunity that may provide a higher potential revenue? So I think the question is about, do you choose your passion or the more profitable way?
I think you need passion that's profitable. A passion that does not bring money is a hobby. So, but at the same time, the entrepreneurial journey is you cannot separate, when you're an entrepreneur, you cannot separate your business from your life. And you need to find a way in the tough days to wake up and still find the motivation to wake up and do the work, even in the tough times. So for you to find that motivation and keep going, keep being persistent and consistent, you need passion. If you don't love what you do, there's no way you can keep going at it. But I know a lot of entrepreneurs who are capable of doing that, because it really depends on your personality. I know some people their passion is not necessarily the business itself, but it's the process of starting and kicking off a business, selling it off and starting a new one. So you need to know yourself, like what is it what's the passion for you? Is it the content itself of the business, or is it the process of starting a business? But in that case, you really you need to have a strong exit strategy so that you can keep going at being happy at what you do. Because if you're not passionate about the product itself, it's going to be very hard for you to keep growing this business.
I agree. Thank you, Amel. Thank you very much. And I think we don't have any more questions, and this episode is done. And thank you to all your audience also. We will post this content soon on the French Cluster YouTube channel, so people can view it again and again. Do not hesitate to like and share also when you will see it. And we are happy if this episode has been useful to you. Stay safe, take care, and have a good day, Amel.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.